All right, let's graduate to the National Football League. Sunday night features a battle of division leaders when the Lions take on the Texans. Detroit, a 4-point road favorite, total sitting at 48.5. Now, Detroit has covered 6 straight games, their longest streak since 2022 when they covered 7 in a row. They are 7-1 ATS this season, covering all 4 so far on the road. The Texans, however, could be getting wide receiver Nico Collins back. He was activated off IR today after missing the last 4 games with a hamstring injury, officially listed as questionable. All right, Aaron, is there any reason to want to bet against the Lions in this matchup?
I mean, I feel like I want to take the points with the Texans if Nico Collins ends up playing, as well as Tank Dell has to also be playing in this game as well. So we're waiting on a few injury things. Now, it's also really hard for me to fade the Lions. I got absolutely burnt last week when I said take the Green Bay Packers and take them outright against the Lions. But I do think, look, the Texans are playing at home, and if they get some of these great guys back, that's obviously going to help that offensive line. And more specifically, when we talk about Nico Collins, I mean, they're 4-1 with him, 2-2, of course, when they're without him. Now, you also have to factor in Stephon Diggs no longer on this team as well. But Detroit's absolutely rolling, so maybe you take them in the first half of the game. I really like that play. Maybe you look at their team total at 26.5 as well. But let's say that Nico Collins doesn't end up playing, and Tank Dell, I mean, obviously I have to see what happens with him as well. Look at Joe Mixon. His rushing and receiving yards props definitely going to continue to increase throughout the upcoming days.
A lot of good points there, because I think that's the key to the entire handicap is the wide receiver situation, specifically Collins. If Collins plays, I think this closes probably close to 3. I think this is going to drop. This line is out of control, to be completely honest. Like, Detroit is laying way too many points here. Houston is not a bad football team. They might not be elite, but they're not bad. 10 days of rest at home, and they can play some defense. This is like peak Lions in the market right now. They just went to Green Bay. They smashed the Packers. Everyone loves them. 40-15 against the number over their last 55 games. There's no catch. It's not 55 games played in the day or 55 games played in the dome. Just their last 55 games, they're 40-15. That's 73% against the number. It dates back to 2021. But the thing is, everyone's caught up. So if you're going to tell me that Nico Collins is out with this offensive line against that Lions team, I want nothing to do with Houston. But if you get the wide receivers, the price is going to be the play on Houston there.
Yeah, I get it if Nico is available. He is a legit game breaker in the mold of an A.J. Brown, a Tyreek Hill. He's that type of talent. For me, it's a common sense handicap, though. If he's out, I'm going to feel foolish betting on the Texans and watching the Lions cover their 41st game in their last 56. If I bet on the Lions and somehow the Texans win, I can live with that. I can live with that loss. Sometimes that's my favorite handicap. What loss is going to make me feel more foolish? I'm going to do the opposite.
How do I prefer to lose money?
Yeah.
Preferred choice.
Which way? How? Yeah. Whatever makes you sleep at night.
Hey, I tell you, it works. And like last night,
with the total.
The total last night. And you were looking great with that under last night. And of course, you get 40 points in the fourth quarter.
I'm glad they chopped my head off quickly then. It wasn't a slow bleed. It was a quick chop.
I was going to say, I was thinking about that last night.
I was watching the team. I'm like, what is happening?
I actually was thinking
It actually looked good.
They can score at will, and they let everyone score at will. Back here on ESPN Bet Live, back in the NFL, where we have a good one in Week 10. Steelers, Commanders, a couple of first-place teams. Washington, a 2.5-point favorite, but Mike Tomlin hitting at 61% as an underdog in his career. Pittsburgh has covered 4 straight in the underdog role dating back to last season. All right, Joe Fortenbaugh, are you buying Tomlin as a dog this week?
Yes. I don't know if I want to say anything else. Sounds like the voice is getting back.
I actually won't be able to contain my laughter. I'm sorry. Like, you know how I get. Let's be serious.
How about a little professionalism?
I'm trying. Seriously, Joe, don't make me laugh. Seriously, because I won't stop.
All right, so the Steelers. Yes, I'm buying that trend. I'm buying another trend as well. Tomlin's 26-6 lifetime against rookie quarterbacks. Oh. He has 2 weeks to get ready for this game as his team is coming off the bye week and getting healthy. Jalen Warren specifically. Washington is in a sell-high spot. They're the darlings of the NFL right now. They're 7-2. Everyone's in love with the quarterback, the coach, the team, as they should be. They're a very lovely story. But the teams they've beaten this year are combined 19-34. Arizona's the only team they've played that they've beaten that has a winning record. They're 5-4. Of all the teams they've beaten, only one has a defense that ranks in the top half in the league in EPA. That's the Bears. They needed a Hail Mary to beat them. I think there's a lot of value on the Steelers here. I'd be playing them on the money line, too.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would take the Steelers. I think they're absolutely a live dog. Take them on the money line. You make a lot of great points here, Joe, as you give me this evil eye.
Keep it together.
I'm trying to keep it together. You guys know how I get. All right, top-rated defense we know for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Second fewest points allowed per game. They're great on third down. They're great in the red zone. This could be the toughest defense that Washington's going to have to face. And although the Commanders at 7-2, their offense looks great, their defense is really suspect. So I think this is going to be a nice, tight, close game. Again, I think the Steelers absolutely live would just take them on the money line. So I agree with you, Joseph.
It's really good.
Really great stuff.
I see you two coming together on my Steelers. I'll back you as well. I love Mike Tomlin.
It's true.
You know, I love the Steelers, and you know I love Mike Tomlin as an underdog.
It is your top team that you talk about. Makes sense.
Go, Yenses. Let's talk about another game. Following the loss last week to the Panthers, the New Orleans Saints parted with head coach Dennis Allen. However, this might be a good sign if you want to back New Orleans this week. Since 2009, teams that make a midseason coaching change are 21-13 ATS in the first game with the new head coach, including covering 5 of the last 6 instances. Aaron, does this trend have you interested in taking those points with the Saints?
All day I was trying to make a case for taking the points, and I couldn't. So I feel like you have to lay with Atlanta in this spot. Even though Atlanta, despite their record and how they've looked in certain games, knowing that they've had an easy kind of schedule down to start the season, I can't make a case for the Saints. I mean, no longer Chris Olave, Marshawn Lattimore, he's gone as well. Derek Carr, he does like to go up and down a lot, so sometimes he has a bad performance, then all of a sudden he comes out looking great like a superhero, but I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case against the Saints. Offense has been struggling, the defense as well, so I mean, I feel like I have to lay with the Falcons in this spot.
I spent all day trying to make a case for the Saints.
Literally
that's a hell of a way to spend the day. All day focused on this Saints team and this Carolina game. It's just not working. I like the Saints a little bit.
I do work.
A little bit here. +4, a little bit. Go back to the game a few weeks ago when they met in Atlanta. Atlanta's laying 2.5. Now we're going to completely flip venues in an NFC South hate fest. And you're going to go from -2.5 at home to -4 on the road. It's one of these like ultimate buy low spots on a Saints team that can't be any worse, famous last words, than they were last week against Carolina. Cam Jordan spoke after that game. They were embarrassed by that, humiliated that they lost to Carolina. Now you're going to come back home to New Orleans. They're going to give you an effort. Yep. They hate the Falcons, who, by the way, like 5-2 in one-score games. There's some indicators there that Atlanta's good, but not great. Small.
Yeah, this is not my favorite.
They could go full Saints.
Never good when you go full
half.
Saints.
Are you going to go back to that? What was that, team total, right?
No, it's going against Carolina. So that would be the Giants' first half team total over, and that's in Germany.
Germany, yeah, let's not get
mess with that.
Couple of trends, couple of situations to watch for Week 10. New coach bounce potentially for the Saints, and Mike Tomlin as a dog.
All right, Tyler, well, we're going to do a little segment here that's called Don't Tease Me. I did not come up with the name of this. Absolutely did not come up with this, you know. Look, I was the girl who got, like, on their report card, lack self-control, so if I start laughing, don't be surprised. Joe, why is this week such a good week to be teased?
Leave that there. A lot of point spreads find themselves in optimum teaser range. What is a teaser, many people are asking? Yeah. 6-point teaser specifically, you have 6 points to move the point spread in any direction you want. So let's look at Philadelphia versus Dallas. Philadelphia -7, you can move that point spread down 6 points. So instead of Philly winning by 7, Philly can go ahead and just win by 1. You see it right there at the bottom of your screen. Hooray, what a wonderful bet. Why wouldn't we be doing this all the time? Well, it's gambling, so there's a catch. Like a parlay, you need a second leg. So not only would Philly have to win by 1, but if you wanted to partner them up with, say, the Cardinals, you would need to win within 7.5 against the Jets. Optimum teasers move through at least 2 key numbers. That's known as a Wong teaser, W-O-N-G, Wong teaser. So if you want to move through 3 and 7, ideally, please try to keep a straight face. Tease, Wong, these are professional terms.
I know. So of all the options, we're going to rank
Be professional.
3 favorite teaser legs. We're going to start with number 3.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. It's going to be the San Francisco
49ers.
Now, I'm going right against my rules immediately because we're not going through the 2 key numbers of 7 and 3, but we're going to move from 6.5 down
here we go.
half a point. Why do we like it? Look at the spot. Niners off their bye week, 2 weeks to get ready. McCaffrey's healthy, playing a Tampa team that just lost on a Monday night in overtime at Arrowhead, coming home to face this Niner team without Godwin, without Evans. Much like last year when San Francisco trucked Jacksonville off their bye, I think San Francisco trucks Tampa. I think they make for a very nice teaser leg there. We just need to win the game by 1 or more, and this leg cashes.
I would be absolutely stunned if the 49ers not only won this game, but didn't roll in this game as well. So you make a lot of great points. I mean, coming off the bye, not to mention Tampa Bay, they've looked terrible on offense and defense. So I like that one. Give us number 2.
Okay, so now because the Niners need to win by at least 1 point for us to cash this leg, we need a second leg. Here's an option. The Chargers hosting Tennessee. They're 7.5, 6 points of movement. We take it down to 1.5, which means we only need to win by 2 points. The Chargers, I don't think people realize this, have the best defense in the NFL. Number 1 in efficiency, number 1 in EPA. Very smart on offense. They can run the ball. They make good decisions at quarterback. They play at a very slow pace. On the other side, you have a Tennessee team that just announced Will Levis is going to start at quarterback. What did that do? It moved the spread from 7 to 7.5. Not a lot of faith in Levis in the betting market. So one of your 6-point teasers could be Chargers minus 1.5 with the Niners minus 0.5. Both legs come through, you win your bet.
Yeah, Will Levis 2 or more interceptions. Let's make that a market while we can. All right, last one here.
Okay, last one, we're going to go in the other direction. We're going to take the Steelers, who are plus 2.5. We're going to go up to 8.5. Now notice we're moving through the 2 key numbers. We're going through 3, we're going through 7, all the way up to 8.5. So the Steelers just need to keep it within 8.5 to win this leg of the bet, or they can just win the game outright as well. Steelers off their bye week. Steelers getting healthy. Mike Tomlin, 26-6 lifetime against rookie quarterbacks. Look at this. Russell Wilson, looking good, Russ, looking good. Now on the other side, you're going to have a Washington team that I think is a little bit overvalued, 7-2. They haven't really beaten up on anyone of quality yet. Only team they beat with a winning record is Arizona at 5-4. They haven't beaten up on great defenses yet. The Bears are the only good one they beat. This is a big step up in class. I like the Steelers to win it outright, but they make for an excellent leg. So you compare them with the Chargers, Steelers with the Niners, Niners with the Chargers, lots of permutations.
So many different ways that you could be doing a little teaser. So how fun of us, Joe.
And this is a great segment by you. Great name.
I didn't pick it.
Great hosting, lots of charisma.
Someone else came up with this.
We got to learn about your report cards. Very exciting.
I was always in detention. All right, Tyler, please take me off screen.